From hard Brexiters to Remainers to universal credit rebels, has the Chancellor done enough with his budget to keep Tory backbenchers happy? Here's the first reaction from Conservative MPs on Philip Hammond's big offers on stamp duty, NHS funding and Brexit preparations. Frankly, we need to stop talking about his job, and start talking about all the other jobs being created and move on with that. The stamp duty offer is very welcome. I have seen a lot of young people tweeting saying thanks very much, and I do think that when you are trying to buy, finding another slug of cash when you are moving for the first time on top of the deposit is a big ask. On universal credit, most of us couldn't live for 6 weeks without cash. So actually, help with housing benefit, help with advances, all those things are really, really important. I think what the Chancellor has proved today is that he and David Gauke, the Work and Pensions Secretary, are prepared to listen. We want the system to work. There are going to be problems, but the government will tackle them when they are raised. He didn't have a huge amount of leeway to go on a big spending spree, but he's done enough for people who are working hard and finding things tough. The announcements around universal credit are all very welcome indeed. I've always had faith in the Chancellor. I have spoken to him about nurses' pay. I think nurses deserve a pay rise, and I have been campaigning with the RCN, Royal College of Nursing, about that. He has definitely listened to my pleas that if there is going to be a pay rise, which I think there will be, it has to come from new money. You can't expect the NHS to give a decent pay rise from existing funds. He has listened to that. He has done a considerable amount on universal credit, and that has got to be good news, that the weight will be reduced. He has gone a fair amount of the way, and my colleagues may well be happy with that. The fact is, though, we had a situation before where people had a disincentive to work. What we now have is a system that gives an incentive to work. There is a tiered level of benefits depending on how much people earn, and that has got to be good. I have heard a lot worse budgets. In a number of key areas, this has done a lot. I am an arch Brexiteer and have been saying for ages, for goodness sake, Philip, you have to say something about the preparations for 2 years' time. Up until now he'd been reluctant to commit more than a small amount of money. Now he's announced £3 billion, and I think that's brilliant. I think the Chancellor has made steps in the right direction on universal credit. There may still be worries, and we need to listen more acutely. The reality is that none of us in that chamber has ever had to live off universal credit. We don't know what it's like all of a sudden to be thrown into that position where you have no money for a period of time. We've simply got to build more homes, whether they are to rent or to buy, so they are cheap enough for everyone to afford. I am delighted my discussions with the Chancellor about overhauling our slow, expensive, uncertain and conflict-ridden planning laws have made it into today's budget. Building up not out will unlock huge numbers of new urban house building sites, and the idea is supported by almost every housing association, so there'll be enough financial muscle, construction skills and networks of local building suppliers to turn those new sites into homes much faster than before.